morning, backyard friends, but in the kitchen. So I'm making some sourdough bagels today, and it just had me thinking about how far I've come in my sourdough journey. So I wanted to share 3 things that I thought would really help me if I was just starting out, if I was starting over again with sourdough. And the first thing that I would do different is buy a starter, get a starter from a friend. I love to bake, and I definitely pride myself in my baking. So I thought, doing my own starter, getting my own starter going was really gonna make me feel some kind of way about my bread. And it did make me feel some kind of way, and that way was frustrated. So the second thing that I wish I had done differently when I was starting out on my sourdough journey is not following a ton of sourdough people. I would find 1 or 2 people who do sourdough and I would follow them. I feel like following too many people overcomplicated things for me. Everybody has their own techniques, their own journey with sourdough, and it just made it more complicated. And I still don't follow a lot of people who do sourdough. So the next thing is knowing some of the key vocabulary terms when it comes to sourdough. And for example, discard is a question that I get asked a lot by friends who are just starting out with sourdough. What is discard? So discard is just unfed starter. Discard is just what you're taking out of your starter so that you can feed it more, because your sourdough starter is living and you have to feed it. You have to give it food, and that's what the water and the flour is. It's just food. You're just feeding that starter. So before you feed it, you have to take out some of the discard. I keep mine in the fridge and I bake other bread products with it, tortillas, biscuits, things like that. I'm not a fan of sourdough sweet recipes. So when you hear people talking about feeding your starter and you hear the ratios, the 1-1-1, the 4-4-4, the 1-4-4, whatever it may be, those are just parts, okay? So it's part starter, part flour, part water. So the next sourdough vocabulary I wish I had understood is bulk fermentation. So when you mix your bread, that's the start of your bulk fermentation. So for example, with the bagels that I'm making, they have a 45-minute rest time before I actually shape it into a ball, but my bulk fermentation already began. It began when I mixed my bread. So those are the things that I wish I had known before I started doing sourdough, and maybe I would have been more successful in the beginning. Because you guys, if I had to just throw out a number of times I tried to start doing sourdough, I would say maybe 5, and I was not successful until I grasped those things. And remember, we don't have fails, we have learning experiences. So that's all it is. It's just a learning experience, and you'll get better every single time. I'm still having a lot of learning experiences. So my sourdough does not always come out perfect. And remember, you can always turn it into something else. You can make a focaccia, you can do breadcrumbs, you can do croutons. Croutons are amazing. So just make something else with it. Good luck on your sourdough journey. You've got this. Bye, friends.